14 July 1789, City of Paris. Some 7,000 men and women gathered in front of the town hall. The crowd was angry. To control the angry crowd, King mobilized his armed men. The crowd entered into several government buildings, mainly in search of arms and ammunition. Finally, the crowd entered Bastille, a fortress prison where the autocratic government kept political prisoners. Bastille has grown into a symbol of the monarchy, a symbol of an autocratic government. Soon, armed fight followed and the fort of Bastille was destroyed. Commander of Bastille killed. The revolt soon spread across the France like a wildfire. A chain of events followed and ultimately led to the execution of the royal king and his beautiful wife. Sir, what made people so angry? Why they destroyed government castle brick by brick? And why they killed their beloved king and queen? To understand all these questions, we have to first understand French society during the late 18th century. The 18th century France was ruled by the Bourbon family. In 1774, the young 20 years prince became the king, Louis XVI. A king must have a worthy wife, and so he got married to a neighborhood princess from Austria, Marie Antoinette. She was beautiful and she always welcomed royal guests in her home. Such a lovely wife. King Louis XVI was feeling lucky, but there was an issue. He found that the empire treasury was getting empty. That is, he found out that his ancestors have not left him enough money. Sir, why empire treasury was empty? Don't you think such a lovely couple should have more money to spend on their beloved subjects? Yes, why not? But earlier France helped American colonies to gain independence from Britain. Sir, why the French helped Americans instead of their neighbors Britain? France helped Americans because Americans were not happy with their colonial masters, Britain. Yes, Britain was a neighbor to France. Often neighbors go along well, but most of the times neighbors are pain in. Often the sole duty of every neighbor is to make life difficult for a fellow neighbor. Following the same principles, Britain and France were showcasing their camaraderie worldwide. French helped Americans in their struggle. In India, French East India Company was fighting for more colonies, and unlike the East India Company, it was a government owned and not a private company. And wars require money. The more money you have, longer you can fight. And French fought long wars in the 18th century and it drained the resources of the country. The other reason for the empty treasury was the high maintenance cost of the Palace of Versailles. Also, a king has other duties. He has to look after the government offices and salaries of officers. He has to fight more wars. Sometimes a wife can throw a party here and there. So a king has to look after all these issues. Sir, so how King Louis XVI looked at this problem? I have a master plan. What? I will increase the taxes so we can fight more wars and we can teach lessons to these English. So officers can get timely salary and my wife can throw a party here and there. So the government increased the taxes, but there was a major issue in the French social system which caused a further problem. Sir, what was the problem? The only third estate paid taxes in France. Now what are the estates, sir? French society in 18th century was a society of estates. Basically, French society was divided into three estates, that is three categories. The first estate was a priestly class consisting of clergy, priests, cardinals and bishops. Only 0.5% of the population was part of the first estate. The second estate was nobility. 1.5% population was in the second estate and they owned 25% of the land of the country. And finally, there was a third estate, consisting of businessmen, merchants, lawyers, teachers, peasants, artisans, landless laborers, servants, and so on. The third estate was 98% of the population. The third estate was an oppressed section of society. Peasants who formed the large part of the third estate were obliged to render services to the lords and nobility. Peasants had to volunteer for construction and other labor-intensive tasks such as building a road. Also, the third estate carried the burden of taxes. For example, a church extracted a tax from peasants known as tithes, and members of the third estates had to pay a tax on the land tithe. To repay war debt, it was decided to increase the taxes. But the common man in France was struggling. A bad harvest in 1787 and 1788 led to food shortages. The population of France increased in the last 60 years like never before, but the production of grains could not match the growth of the population. The prices of bread, which was a staple food, increased rapidly, but wages paid to workers not increased in the same proportion. People were suffering from hunger. The king and queen were living happily in their palaces. Taxes further increased the burden on the third estates. The rich became richer and the poor getting poorer. France was engulfed in subsistence crisis, where the basic means of livelihood were in danger. On the other hand, Marie Antoinette was throwing party after party. The middle class in France, known as bourgeoisie, said enough is enough. They proclaimed the end of privileges. People in the first and second estate were happy. Their bottoms were not set on fire. It was the people of the third estate who were at the receiving end. Now to recall again, third estates consist of merchants, businessmen, court officials, artisans, landless laborers and servants. And among them rose intellectuals who shaped the entire course of history worldwide and provided a political thought which shaped the modern world. Amongst them rose John Locke, Rousseau, Montesquieu, and showed the way to the oppressed people. Locke, in his two treatises of government, opposed the doctrine of the divine and absolute right, the theory which gave a king supreme power. No group in society should be privileged by birth. Rather, a person's social position must depend on his merit. This formed the basis of the idea of equality. Rousseau proposed the idea of government based on a social contract between people and their representatives. Montesquieu, in the spirit of the laws, proposed a division of power within the government between three organs of the government, that is, the legislature, the executive, and the judiciary. The ideas of these philosophers were discussed in salons, coffee houses, book reading clubs, in books, in newspapers, and soon these ideas spread throughout Europe like a wildfire and later throughout the world. These ideas soon inspired revolutions across the globe. Directly or indirectly, people came together and were keen to overthrow hereditary monarchs. Soon, people came together and formed their own government in France and executed their monarch in unavoidable circumstances. So, the takeaways from this session is that king increased taxes to meet expenses of wars, personal extravaganza, and on the other hand, people were already suffering because of inflation, war expenses. They could not even afford a bread, and there was a queen who was throwing party after party. And at the same time, the king increasing taxes in this kind of situation is kind of stupid. If you have a power, do not oppress who are already oppressed. Try to minimize their hardships and take steps which can solve their problems. If you are taxing your subjects, make sure that you are fulfilling their primary needs first. No group in society should be privileged by birth. Rather, a person's social position must depend on his merit. This was the idea of the philosophers who emerged in 18th century France. In simple words, to curb the autocratic rule of monarchs, there should be a division of power within the government between three organs of the government, that is, the legislature, the executive, and the judiciary. These ideas of enlightenment, like liberty, fraternity, and equality, separation of powers, soon spread out to the world. This was the contribution of the French Revolution. Now, in the next session, we will continue with the part 2 of the French Revolution. So, with all that being said, thank you for watching this video. Have a good day.